Before I start ya, this is Guseo. Hi, thank you for following. This is game number 7 in the session. This is 49 keys. I received the key to play this one from Jaleo PR, but the publisher of this game is 2P Games. This is probably like game number 4, 5 that I played from 2P Games. There is another game that's actually pretty interesting from 2P Games. It's called Sultan's Game, and it's also based on Middle East of Asia, and there are some magic and occult type of element too. But in this game, it seems like it also have the same element. So that's that. If you guys interested, feel free to type !G or game in the chat room. Thank you. Enjoy the stream, enjoy the podcast. No, it's not like that, Elxie. We'll see, yeah? It was the year of our Lord 1520. A most unusual figure arrived by dusk at the gates of Dominican convent in San Agostino, Padua. His modest carriage was pulled by a black mule. Presenting himself at the convent's gates, he would speak but one word, my name. His strikingly uncommon features suggested he hailed from a distant realm, a mysterious eastern land, perhaps. To me, he handed a letter scribed upon parchment before climbing back into his carriage without a word. Then he left, never to return. Upon returning to my chamber, I unfurled the parchment, raising it to the window slits through which faint rays of the setting sun shone. With a sudden surge of emotion, I discovered the missive was penned by Renata the Master, aged yet never to be forgotten. When I had not long donned the cassock, I dwelt within the convent of San Domenico, Bologna. In those days, it was he who stood as my prior. In that sacred abode, he had introduced me to the Holy Scripture and their study, to the church doctor, and to the eminent theologians. However, his thirst for knowledge was so great that it could never be sated by this few pursuit, noble though they were. Thus, taking aside a number of us monks who shared his thirst for learning, he began introducing us to various other disciplines with great delight, I might add. Astronomy was a particular passion of his, the charting of the stars, their position and motion, and astrology, which studies their influence upon worldly affair. We, his disciples, were truly gripped by his lesson. Even today, though many years may have passed, I cherish them so. They live on in my mind in vivid and untouched memory. Cassock, clerical, priestly attire, the black long cloth coat. Okay. Like a robe then? Okay. An immense sorrow engulfed me as I perused his letter. Master informed me that his time on earth was drawing to a close, and so he was preparing to undertake the long journey toward God. Hence, he had decided to leave me with an invaluable work, a form of inheritance, a work that only I could safeguard in his stead. He explained little of this work, yet this, along with the urgency with which I was summoned to his residence, only served to further fuel my already keen curiosity. I dearly hoped to reach him before his departure from this life, and so departed promptly upon the dawn. I informed the prior, a man with whom I was quite close, and joined a group of timber merchants heading westward the following day. After several days on the road, I purchased an old sickly mule for a few coins. I then left the merchant caravan to head northwards toward the mountain and lakes past the Duchy of Milan. One of those lakes was to be the final stop upon my journey. Master had written of reaching a small town upon the river Olona, the name of which now escapes me. There, near the collegiate church, I was to find an abbot who would then lead me to his hermitage by the lake shore. A holy man there gave me the terrible news that Master had passed on several weeks earlier. He himself had witnessed the body as it was ferried across the lake for funeral rites and fitting burial. His words plunged me into the deepest despair. My companion noticed my dejection and tried to comfort me with great compassion. I then asked the holy man if he had been given anything to hand to me. He merely explained with a shake of the head that a peculiar-looking stranger had only brought him a message, with instruction to receive me at the collegiate church. The monastery where he served as abbot belonged to Master's family, and there he had lived in solitude. Only a few servants kept him company in a palace out upon one of the lake's islands. The servant had left the palace over the past few days, hence I would receive no welcome. However, he explained its gates would be left open to allow me access to the interior. I spent the night in the cell of a monastery perched high atop rocky cliff, mulling over the years of my youth in the San Domenico convent. Some despised the master for his sharp intellect in those gloomy days, spewing hateful accusation of him working dark magic of dealing with the weak. How long is this going to be? Is this text-based game? I basically have to read. Where? Oh.
Pandoria just rated with 16 viewers.
Hi, thank you for the raid. Welcome. Halo Lucky Doe. Halo Panda Pandorea. Halo Dadang. Halo Raymond. Halo Kapten. Oh no, it's a raid. Why oh no? Selamat pagi. Selamat datang. Apakah sudah beristirahat? Hi, welcome. Cosmic Drake. Greetings. Hello. Welcome to my channel. Raiding at this hour. Too much text too. Why? It's 6:19 in the morning. Hi, welcome. Are you guys gonna go to sleep already or no? Do you want me to introduce myself or no? Too? Perhaps? Do you want me to? I guess yes. It is actually text-based game. Introduce please. Okay. Hi, I'm Adli, a variety streamer from Payakumbuh, West Sumatra, Indonesia. This is I usually play a lot of game in one session, and this is game number 7 in the session. This is 49 keys. If you guys wanted to check today's list of game that I have playing or am currently playing, you can actually type !today or GL in the chat room.
Hi everyone.
And you can see all game that I have played or currently playing in the list. Belum lalu, alun lah. But yeah, I am from Payakumbuh, West Sumatra, Indonesia, a small city in West Sumatra. I usually play a lot of game, as I said before, and usually played game that people probably never heard before. So if you are looking for a chill, cozy, a variety game to be played in one session, or probably like comfy or cozy type of stream, then welcome to my channel. Hope you guys can actually enjoy the channel. That's all practically. I can speak in English or Indonesian or sometimes Korean too, depending on the chat room. That's all. I like the streaming vibes, the OST, the current music. This is from the game. Not the other, but if you are thinking about the back audio, I live in a small and basically kinda remote, so it is practically quiet like this. Nah, salam kenal. Panda apakah orang Sumatera, orang Padang juga? Bukankah? But yeah, welcome once again. If you guys gonna rest and sleep after this one, then have a good rest, have a good sleep. But if you are not, then welcome to my channel, welcome to my stream. Hope you guys can actually enjoy the session. Panda orang hutan, bang. Ya, tidak salah. Apakah sudah mau beristirahat, Panda? Apakah setelah ini mau makan bambu? Do you want to eat bamboo after this one? Do you want to hang around on the bamboo? Or do you just want to sleep? Because I heard Panda usually sleep 18 hours in a day. Gak salah, ya betul, gak salah. Tidak salah. Tepat sekali. Mau beres dulu sebelum turun. Oke. Selamat beres-beres. Semoga bisa menyelesaikan beres-beresnya di pagi ini. Aku tadi bilang ini game ke-7. This is game number 7. So I still have like 3 more game with this one. So my stream probably going to last until 8-ish AM. Jadi ini game ke-7, masih ada 3 game sama ini. Mungkin streamku sampai jam 8 pagi ini, begitu. BTW saya elf bernama Panda ya, bukan VTuber beruang panda. Oh, oke. Terima kasih sudah menjelaskan lore-nya secara singkat kepada saya. Panahnya bawa pisau. I see, game soal apa bang? Jujurnya aku belum tahu, aku baru mulai dengan game ini. Kayaknya text based, kayaknya. Karena basically aku kayak baca buku. Nih, ini basically aku bener-bener kayak baca buku doang dari tadi. Dan aku tidak menyangka bakal baca buku kayak gini. Terus emang begitu, dijelaskan di sini psychological horror, Lovecraftian sama text based. Katanya begitu. Ajarin baca hati kamu. Kenapa hati aku tidak bisa dibaca kah? Tertutup sih, tapi aku tidak merasa aku kayaknya menutup semuanya dengan rapat-rapat. Tapi ya gamenya text based, jadi basically mungkin kayak baca visual novel dari tadi teh. Genrenya ada magic sama occult, artinya kayak dunia sihir, dan kayak occult itu apa ya bahasa Inggrisnya, bahasa Indonesianya? Kayak sekte. Sebenarnya dari publisher yang sama ada game-game lain, semacam wow, what is this? Semacam ini. Ada game lain kayak Sultan's Game, ini bagus gamenya. Basically juga text based, tapi tidak se-text based yang tadi. Ini turn based, dan kita bisa ngatur jalan cerita dan jalan kehidupan takdir pakai kartu, kayak gitu. Bagus, demonya oke. Kalau mau coba, boleh. Baca kira itu. Apakah tidak apa-apa aku lanjut ya? Cuma aku yang membaca karena text based. The palace, a squarish two-story block, feature a small tower in its northwest corner. The south-facing brick, tarik, oke. Feature a small tower in its northwest corner. Oh iya, kalau kepo dengan gamenya boleh tanda seru G. Tanda seru G nanti ada halaman IGDB-nya. Kalau mau baca lebih lanjut mengenai gamenya. The palace, a squarish two-story block, feature a small tower in its northwest corner. The south-facing brick facade was already in shadow at that twilight hour. The entrance, topped by an arch, was sealed shut with two heavy oak doors. I put faith in the abbot's word that the gate would be open to receive me, and pushed open the solid wood doors. Alas, they didn't budge an inch. Peering through the slit between them, I was surprised to see a thick wooden plank serving as a crude deadbolt lock. I presume that perhaps some servant still resided within, and so tugged at the rope bell pulled by the doors. Nobody answered my call. Despite my effort, the interior remained silent and still. The palace seems uninhabited. It was clear that I would have to find another way in. You unlock a map. Select a location to explore it. Scroll to zoom. Oh, the palace is two-story thing. So this is the palace then. What is this? If you are having difficulty, click do at the top right to receive a hint or the solution itself if you are still stuck. Okay. The garden extended several yards east, mostly overrun by spidery webs. However, it still bore traces of ancient delight. A ruler straight path of white pebble flanked at a regular interval by marble cherubs led first to a small marble fountain and then to a slight chapel enclosed by iron gates. Oh, okay. Fountain? A magnificent pine cone topped the three-tiered fountain, hewn from marble. Clear water sparkling in the midday sun as it flowed its way down. I tried to imagine the joy that such a sight must once have brought. Its melodic whisper drifted to the air, accentuating the chatter of ladies enjoying the summer afternoon. Its base was thick with dead leaves of an autumn pause. The fountain itself, okay. Chapel. I observed the interior of the chapel through the iron bar. Oh, this one. A fresco of Virgin and Child lit by the flickering candlelight brought solace to my soul, troubled by the news of the master's death, and I trod through that unfamiliar and seemingly abandoned place. Suddenly, swift movement caught my eye. A dark spot reflected on the altar's pink marble. I spun around to realize that it was not but a humble black bird digging for worms in the garden soil. How to come back? Oh, okay. I slowly made my way through the trees, feet sinking into the carpet of autumn's dry leaves. Amidst the whispering chorus of the woodland wildlife, I recognized the chirrup of timid squirrel and deep calls of blackbird hidden up high in the chestnut branches. Blah 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 blah. Having advanced several paces, I found the earth sloping rapidly toward the lake. Its tranquil surface soon appeared from behind its trunks. So many things to read. In that direction, I spied on how the island coast from a small but indefinite indentation, a small gulf. Oh, this one. This is like reading a novel, yeah? Something that is more suitable to be played offline by yourself. East. Thus I continue eastward, following the thin shadow of chestnut and birch trunks that stretch in the waning light. Okay. You found an item. To use it, drag it over to a paragraph. Right-click to examine an item. Sunken into its wood sparkled the blade of a meadows axe, likely forgotten by a palace servant. Why do I have to have an axe? Yeah? Oh, to open the door. No. Huh? Or should I open the chapel? Yeah? Thanks for streaming this game. It looks very interesting. Thank you. To be honest, text-based game is actually, to be honest, yeah, is some type of game that usually pretty much kind of boring to stream, because most streamer and me usually don't actually read the text-based game, because you have to basically read everything that's going on in the game. But then, thank you if you actually found this actually kinda interesting. But I'm probably going to play until 6:45-ish, considering this is a text-based game, yeah? I descended into a small cultivated garden on the terrace section of the lawn. At the far end toward the east were several wooden storage sheds. Further on, a simple stable stood alongside my chicken coop. My chicken? My kitchen. My cat! In these humble sheds were stored agricultural tools, firewood, and animal feed. A shack alongside them housed an abandoned rowboat in a modest condition. I felt a part of that. I felt a part of that magnificent harmony and began to comprehend the stark truth of the philosopher word, how the celestial world and its utter perfection reflect the true grandeur of God, of His might. Great spheres high above, revolving with divine majesty. I moved slowly in the blanket of utter darkness, with my right arm tracing the wall and my left reaching out for any obstacle along the way. After a few steps, I brushed against the wooden surface of what seemed to like a rough door. I speculated that this might once have served the inhabitant as a secret route out from the island, a means to escape pirates' attack. The thought gave me confidence that beyond this threshold there lay the underground palace chamber. This one. Should I open the door? Yeah. Such a door didn't seem sturdy enough to withstand a well-aimed blow or two. Okay. So I opened the door. I turned to retrieve the axe, yet its blade. Selamat ngopi Kak Adli. Aku udah. Apakah Dadang lagi ngopi? Aku sudah tadi jam 4-an kayaknya aku ngopi, Dang. Tadi pas istirahat juga aku makan sebentar. Makan siomay tapi bagian, nggak semuanya aku makan, masih ada yang belum. Aku baru ngopi. Selamat ngopi. Kok tumben kalian ke kamar semuanya? Tak tahu apa hal kucingku. Before proceeding, I turned to retrieve the axe, yet its blade was sunken into the door, and in my attempts to dislodge it, the handle snapped clean off. Pasti kucing. Tumben tiba-tiba ke kamar semuanya. Biasanya aku tidak terlalu pedulikan. A faint light dimly illuminated the place. It emanated from a few worn-out candles leaned up against the base of a column positioned at the room center. I found myself standing in a cellar, walled by damp brick, its low vault supported by stout stone column. Ascending a staircase that led to a small doorway, I advanced into a long rectangular room that had been converted into the palace kitchen. I then ventured down a passageway to the right, entering a square courtyard with rows of columns. Several doors stood within its wall, and it was overshadowed by 2 additional stories, both also with rows of columns. Ini kalau nggak kenal Kak Adli, aku sangka Kak Adli indigo. Seharusnya aku bilang ya, kucingku mah. Kucingku naik di atas satu, di tiang penyangga atas. Terus kucing yang satu lagi tidur, kucing yang satu lagi di WC. Satu lagi tidur. I raised my eyes to the sky. Twilight had arrived that night, and in a familiar surrounding, I was to uncover the arcane legacy left to me by my master. Nothing could have prepared me for what I would witness within those walls. Things terrible and extraordinary in equal measure. Halo Mikuro. Kenapa, Dang? Iya, kayak gitu. Kucingku ada macam-macam sekarang, tapi tumben ke kamar, biasanya tidak. Pagi Mikuro, selamat datang. The kitchen was a long, narrow room dominated by a sturdy oak table at the center. Leaning against the wall, a brick oven and stone sink flanked a wooden pantry. Pagi. Exi going dark first, Adley. See you around, good luck and have fun for the stream. Thank you, Exi. Have a good rest, Exi. Have a good sleep. Pagi, selamat datang. Selamat beristirahat, Exi. Semoga beristirahat dengan nyenyak. I got a knife. What for? The oven was simply built of bricks with an opening crowned by an arc. At its base lay traces of ash and fragments of burned wood. Just as I was about to leave, a string of garlic hanging on the wall caught my eye. Ingredients uses present themselves as you progress through your adventure. Why do I need the garlic? An abundance of provision was stored within the underground chamber. Cured meats hung from the ceiling fall, and there stood barrel of dried fish, large skin of red wine, basket of grapes, apple, persimmon, and chestnut. Blah 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 blah. I got boar fat, hare fat, sheep fat. Why do I have to have this much fat? Within the chest were numerous candles and roll of pristine parchment. I rummaged amongst them a while, but found nothing else. The vast abundance of candles reassured me. I doubted my stay would be long enough for me to be left in darkness. Okay. The inner courtyard was bordered by a row of columns, several more doors opening along its side. Slightly elevated at the center, there stood an octagonal well. Octagonal well? Okay. The arcades of the 2 upper floors loom above the skylab framing a square. The well lay shrouded beneath intricately sculpted marble slabs. 3 tons astride majestic dolphin, your full nymphs reclined upon resplendent shell. Their lifelike form evoked a profound sense of wonder and reverence for the stonemason's astonishing mastery. No trace of any bucket remained, the well's depths were concealed entirely within the embrace of darkness. So, where should I go? Should I stab this one? Nothing happened. Should I use this? Boar, Harvard. Examine the brazier found in the center of the hall within the ram's skull on the wall. Find some water to extinguish the brazier. Water? Brazier? What are you talking about? Pliers. Okay. I enter a room brimming with big magnificence. Its length was dominated by a massive table draped with finely embroidered and precious silk cloth, encircled by wooden chairs with high, intricately carved high backs. So many things to read. Blah 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 blah. I approached the head of the table to closely inspect this unusual copper pitcher. Its long and slender neck, crafted after the Turkish fashion, suggested it was an item brought by a merchant hailing from those remote lands. Empty jug. Why? A profound wonder washed over me as I crossed the threshold into the library. Tall shelves lined every wall into the narrow room, which stretched out a fair distance. These shelves were piled with scrolls of parchment and manuscript galore. Why do I have to read everything? Follow the path of fire, and you shall find the 49 keys. Huh? So many things to read. And I became sleepy instead because I have to read everything. Let me finish exploring this second floor and I'm going to change to the next game, yeah? This is definitely a type of game that you have to play by yourself offline rather than actually like right now. The initial stretch of what seemed a long chamber was illuminated by a candle at either side. After a point they ceased and darkness reigned supreme, shrouding the entire far wall. Upon entering that room, I was taken aback by a profound sight. Right before me there sat on the floor a magnificent lion's head, its jaws agape. I recoiled out of instinct, a childish reaction that left me with a slight pang of embarrassment. Huh? More thing. I'm going to save it here, yeah? What do people say about the game though? I actually read that some people actually giving positive sentiment regarding the game. But this is... don't know. It seems hard to understand. But then... don't know.